If you've been thinking about outdoor curtains and you've been trying to figure out which ones you should get and why, this video is going to answer several questions that I had, hopefully to help you decide which ones you should get for yourself. I purchased these outdoor curtains on Amazon. You can see it's kind of an overcast day today. It's been raining, blowing, and these curtains did fantastic. I am so impressed so far. The way they feel and everything about them, I absolutely love them. I tried Ikea curtains and that was not a good idea. I was gonna make them weatherproof with this product I also bought on Amazon, and that didn't go so well. The reason Ikea curtains are so popular is because they are, one, inexpensive, and two, they are pretty long. And you can hang them to make your window look more prominent, wider and longer. Because I have Ikea curtains both in the dining area and the living area, which is an open space, I thought, whoa, carrying them all the way out to the back porch would be really neat because it would just look very cohesive and it would really flow. There are several differences between the Ikea curtains and the ones that I order from Amazon. First, the ones from Ikea are cotton and the ones from Amazon are polyester. Second, the Ikea curtains let in more light, so they filtered some sunlight. The ones from Amazon are blackout curtains. The blackout feature might come in really handy in the middle of the hot summer. I had issues with both curtains whenever it was a very windy day and the wind was blowing super strong. I had watched a video that used this product, the wash-in water repellent, and it is basically one that you throw into the wash and it's supposed to make it waterproof. I don't know if it's because my curtains from Ikea were cotton, but they didn't really work as far as making them waterproof all the way. I mean, parts of it were weatherproof, but not every single part was. I mean, take a look at these blotches of water that have seeped through. That's when I decided that I was just going to buy some that were already weatherproof. My DIY was not working out. Windproof though, they state, and I'm just like, no, I don't think so. There are different colors that you can choose from, a lot of neutrals like the beiges and the whites and the grays, but also tinted colors like the Mecca red and the navy and the teal, the mocha colors. But when I looked at the reviews, a lot of people were complaining about those more tinted tones because the sun ends up bleaching them over time. So if you want to avoid that, you might want to stick with the neutral tones like maybe the beige or the white. That's what I went for, beige. So you can pick from different widths and different lengths. So I purchased 4 panels that were 52-inch wide by 108 inches tall, and I knew that I was going to have to hem them. I hung them right away straight from the packaging because I wanted to kind of see them and decide where I wanted the hem to be. Today, I just noticed how important it is going to be to do this hem fast. I actually just looked at my curtains. They're starting to snag and tear because they're so long. And there have been, you know, the concrete floor has got like a little texture and it's been like going through. So it's definitely bad for them. And it's not just the damage from the floor. So when they were blowing from the wind, these were also brushing up against other things in the porch and creating other damage on other parts of the curtains that I can't repair anymore. So not only the hem is important, but also making sure they're stable when there's a lot of wind. I just brought these into the house and I wanted to show you these things. People on the reviews said these are not metal. They're right, they're not metal. They're more like plastic. I don't mind that. I think they're fine. Also, people talked about using a curtain rod that was weatherproof. That's up to you. Mine is not because it's under the roof. And of course, it is made where we all know it's made. If you find ones made in the USA, make sure to put them in the comments. I decided I wanted them to be 100 inches, so I folded them in half, and of course 50 plus 50 is 100. And then I wanted to create a hem that allowed for me to be able to put some weights in there because I wanted to control them flying all over the place when there was high wind. These are the weights that I actually bought from Amazon as well, that you can actually sew into the fabric inside the hem so you don't have to see them and there's still a little bit of weight. So I've got my guide for every single curtain, the amount that needs to be cut, and now we're going to make the hem. So my idea is to make a hem right here, like a little one, right, like that, with the sewing machine. And then after that, I'm going to go this way and stitch by hand, right, make different stitches. That way I can also stitch in right here, this part, and that way it'll be attached. So I did a very simple stitch to put them inside the hem that later I would finish out, and that way it would be concealed. But what I noticed is that these weights were not strong enough to hold them from blowing out. On the reviews, I noticed that people were complaining about the wrinkles on them and how they didn't just go away on their own. So just go ahead and iron them if that thing bothers you. This is my mom, and she was helping me out to make sure they look nice and pretty. So here they are. These are the hemmed curtains, and I've finished them and they look fine. They kiss the floor the way I like them, but I also left enough of a gap between the hem so that I could put something in there that was heavier than those little weights, because those do not work really on their own. So a couple of ideas is to buy more little pebbles, maybe at the Dollar Tree or anywhere you can get them, like a craft store, and then maybe adding a chain that goes all the way through, that kind of does the trick. And if not, maybe you can get creative to put something in there to help them from blowing. But it's definitely improved. It just makes a little bit of noise. So I think it's just going to take time for me to play with these. If you have any ideas of how to make these windproof efficiently, I would love to hear your ideas. If you love home and garden and you like this video, go ahead and give me that thumbs up. It really does help us creators. The link to these curtains and to other products that I used are going to be in the description. If you love to create and you get lost in time with everything that has to do with creativity and DIYs and projects, I've got lots of ideas for you you may want to watch. So check out the different playlists or subscribe so that you stay tuned to my latest ideas. Because remember guys, you can create bliss at home and in the garden. See you next time.